Recording of a Lovegodesss podcast with your host Katya Melvin, and today we are continuing the discussion of the feminine archetypes, and we are talking specifically about the 6 archetypes that I personally love to embody. And the archetype that we will be discussing today is the feminine CEO or feminine leader archetype, right? A lot of people that are in the Lovegodesss program own their own business. And just like it applies to me, it applies to the ladies, the business women, or women who are feminine leaders. That does not, usually that means that they have their own business. However, a lot of times this could also be a leader of a community, a leader of a feminine group, some form of leadership, some form of influence, some form of stepping up and taking charge and taking the leadership role and the organizer role and the hostess role, right? Like all of that is parts of the being a feminine CEO. When you are in your feminine CEO mode, you are making a difference. That's the key thing here. You are making a difference for other women. You are stepping up to your true purpose, to your true divine guidance, because no matter what it is that you're doing with your business, you are making a difference for those people that come in contact with you and your business. Business is just a means to facilitate change in our society. Your business is just what is business? What is business is when you get money for something, your service, your products, right? But in the end, you are delivering value to that person that is agreeing to pay for you. If they pay for you, they are agreeing to this, whether it's actual contractual obligation, or whether it is non-verbal exchange that is happening, but what's happening is the energy of exchange. You are giving one person the service that they are desiring, and they are agreeing to pay you with the money, which is money is just a medium of exchange in the first place. And so they are agreeing to exchange that value that they are receiving with the money that they have, right? Even with the work, if you're an employee, you are trading your hours, your time, your labor for the value that the business owner pays you for, right? And so anything that is happening here in the society is an energetic exchange, right? Money is a medium of exchange. When you're an employee, a lot of times you get off balance. 75% of employees are declaring that they are thinking actively about quitting their job. So that means a lot of them are not following their divine guidance with what it is that they are meant to do. And some are able to transition to become business owners, and some are in the employment community. Let's call it that way, right? It is really a value that you're exchanging. But my point here is that if you have a desire to service other women with some form of product or service, you are stepping up your game by stepping to the plate of becoming a feminine leader, right? No matter how small your business is, you are then required to step into a role of a feminine CEO. And if it's just you in your own business starting out, or if it's you and the team, right, you are still overseeing the business and the procedures, and you're making sure the ship is sailing smoothly. right? And for me, as my company is growing, as business is scaling, I am overseeing all the little icebergs, and I'm directing the ship to make sure the ship is sailing smoothly and getting us to the destination that we are looking to get, right? By providing more and more value, this is what I'm focusing on, by providing more and more value to women whose lives we are impacting, whose lives we are touching. To me, I would not be in business if I didn't see the big picture. It's way too hard, way too rocky, way too emotional, too much work, too little reward, don't believe those people who tell you, oh, I made $10,000 on putting video on YouTube. That's not how it works. When you build the community, when you build a product, they don't show up. You have to do manual labor to get people invited one by one, and that's the lesson I keep learning with my stuff. I thought I've built up the 20,000 name list, and when I announced my party, guess how many responses I got? Three responses. And by the way, only one came from my list. You would think, oh, I've spent so much time, 10 years, $100,000 in advertisement to build my email list of 20,000 names. Nothing came at free cost. Lots of labor, lots of work, lots of effort, long time. It's brick by brick. Don't believe anyone else. There is this ongoing theme in the community that, oh, it's so easy to make millions of dollars online. Oh, I am a multi-millionaire. Oh, I'm this. Quit your job, start doing this. If it was that easy, in fact, when people, start their own businesses, only what's the statistics? Was it 10% of businesses that are making it up to a 5-year mark? Right? Most businesses do fail. They fail because owners get frustrated, their marketing not working, they can't get clients, and then if they get through that phase of getting the clients, then they are overwhelmed with too much work. There is work everywhere and they just can't keep up. So they would fail at that stage. If that stage, they get through that stage, right? They have somehow the team starting helping out, they get burned out on dealing with team members, because it's just when I got to the team member phase, I was like, oh my God, that's so not worth it, dealing with all the people dynamics and people quitting, and you hire them and they're not working out, and it's ongoing process, right? And so at that stage, businesses would fail. So basically, if a business crawls to the 5-year mark, that's considered a success. If a business makes it to 10-year mark, that's a very resilient business. But yet, even at 10-year mark, a lot of businesses are not in the multi-million-dollar phase, right? So don't believe what they tell you online. It's a marketing technique for selling their own services. They make it sound easy for you, so you buy their product because they definitely gonna sell you the rich quick scheme. Believe me, I know. When I started business, paid $40,000 for a program that delivered me no results. So anyway, I believed in it, right? On the other hand, I've expanded my budget so much that I was able to catapult my business eventually, right? Didn't take a year to close to 6 years to actually start getting that back, right? Start getting that back. But it expanded my mental capacity, it expanded my spiritual capacity to receive at that level too, because I gave at that level. It's always giving first, always giving first. That's why I dig the stone, nothing is working, and I keep digging. So then I'm able to receive, right? But in the beginning, you're very lonely. It feels like you're starting from scratch. It feels like, nobody's paying attention. But once you do that long enough, you start seeing the return, and it's going to be a very slow process. So anyway, we're not here to talk about like the business dynamics, right? We're here to talk about feminine CEO archetypes. And one of the key principles why I was able to survive. There were moments where I felt I was ready to quit. There were moments where I felt I can't breathe anymore. I'm so deep underwater. There were moments where I had panic attacks. There were moments where I thought I will not make it. There were moments where I had to survive for a long time. So the only reason why I survived outside of me being resilient was my spiritual connection to feminine CEO principles. If you are only going from a hustle, masculine perspective, you're gonna get burned out very quickly. And the only businesses that are succeeding are the businesses that are spiritually led. If CEO is believing in some form of guidance, form of power, and connected to their why they're doing this, they will survive the difficulties, right? And so feminine CEO is a very masculine place to be. You are in a doing mode a lot of times. But what makes feminine CEO different from masculine CEO is that feminine CEO is connected so deeply in the feminine principles of spirituality, feminine principles of making money, feminine principles of giving, receiving, feminine. And by the way, that applies to males too, like male-run businesses. They are deeply connected to that spiritual core because both women and male have feminine and masculine energies within them. Feminine energy is receiving, masculine energy is giving. You give a lot when you're a CEO, right? It's a very masculine place to be. Therefore, it is key to master the balance of feminine and masculine while you being a feminine CEO, right? You have to tap into that spiritual work. You have to do spiritual work on a daily basis in order to achieve success in any form of leadership, right? And it's never gonna feel like you got it. It's never gonna feel like you really got what you wanted. It's never gonna feel like, oh, I wanted like 10 clients and I got one. Like, it's always gonna feel like you're being let down. But then there will be moments where you turn your back and you're gonna be like blown away. Holy shit, this is how far I've come, right? So feminine CEO is a very masculine place to be, but it is very empowering place because you are making a difference for other women. And when at least one, you've tried to speak to hundreds of women, but one woman came back and said, hey, you made a difference for me. Like, that's literally enough for me to keep going and keep on doing the hard work, right? I'm not gonna sugarcoat to you. A lot of coaches now online saying, oh, you gotta meditate and visualize and money's gonna start flowing. Hey, I can attend to this. I am doing all of that. And the only reason why my business became successful is because I started doing the energy work. But there is also an element of doing the work, the masculine work, you know, it's a balance of two. You have to do the energy work and you have to do the masculine work, and it is a balance of two, and that is what it is that we are talking to you about today, right? So feminine CEO is your masculine energy tapped into feminine principles, and also tapped into your main purpose and goal and why you do this, and honoring yourself within the process, reminding yourself of the difference you're making for other women, reminding yourself on what is it for you. For me, it's like I need to get replenished through my vacations. Like, that's like literally what I want from a business. I don't want to belong to one place. I want to travel. I want to explore. And so to me, that's an important part of my business. And It is always reconnecting to your desire, why you started in the first place, because there will be so many different moments where you feel like you can't make it, where you want to give up. And it's about like really letting it go, relaxing, and reconnecting to like why you started in the first place, and like really seeing how far you've come in the process. And it's a long process. It's not a get rich quick or overnight success. That doesn't exist. My mentor says overnight success takes 10 years in the making. And that's true. That's true. So props to you, my feminine CEOs, that you're doing so great, that you're still here. You didn't give up on your dreams. You keep on going. You have so much resilience in the process. I know how hard it is. I know you cry in the corner daily, maybe, right? And yet I am here to remind you it's all worth it. And just keep on going. Don't give up. It's so hard. It's insanely hard. But also the rewards are so big that in the end, it's worth it. And you're always gonna have ups and downs. And sometimes in the very bottom of the down, you're gonna feel like you can't make it and it's so hard. But then you're gonna have an up and you're gonna feel, oh my God, like I'm here. I can't believe I made it. So it's a process. It's not a linear process. It's gonna take ups and downs, and it's a roller coaster. So entrepreneurship is not for everyone, for very resilient only. So it's easy to stay in a secured place of work and get paid for just showing up and clocking out every evening and go home and like get disconnected. It's completely different when you're 24/7 plugged into your business and your business is not making, and you're so terrified it's gonna tank, and you're pulling your hair thinking, how will I survive this, right? So completely but the reward to the risk is also higher, right? So I'm here to remind you to tap into spiritual principles. Keep reminding everything happens for us, not to us. There is flow of abundance always flowing to us. We either are allowing to receive it or not. And like, this is the feminine CEO archetype of being graceful feminine leader and a figure for other people, for your clients, for your team members, handling conflicts with grace, following your true authentic connection, receiving God as your business partner, receiving those answers from God, tapping into what would God do in the situation, right? Like allowing, letting it go is the name of the game here when you are an entrepreneur. And that is the feminine archetype that you are embodying. It's not about wearing cool clothes and like having your Apple laptop sitting in a cafe or on a beach somewhere and posting your pictures on Instagram showing, I am working from the Caribbean. Like, no, that doesn't work. And by the way, I've tried to take my laptop to the pool. Just hate having my laptop at the pool. When I'm at the pool, I want to party. I don't want to work at the pool because I'm always working. I don't want to work at the pool, right? Like, those pictures are bullshit. Don't believe a single one of them. Don't believe all these pictures you see online, all these branding photos that were set up. I am photographing a lot of them myself, right? So all of that is curated. Just like know that the reality of being a feminine CEO is much different than what the story they tell you online. And I am, if you have chosen that path of being a feminine leader, props to you. You will succeed. You will be required to stand up for yourself, but in the end, the reward is going to be amazing. Anyway, I have just opened dance studio and club, Lovegodesss Club in Virginia Beach. If you're local to Virginia Beach, please come visit us. Your first class is $10. All the details below. I will see you next time on another recording of Lovegodesss Podcast, where we continue talking about different archetypes.